My name is Travis Molnar. I'm a student at Hudson High School, and I'm going to be presenting on the environmental impacts of tourism in Florida. I will be covering first, how is it affecting Florida and the local area around it, the environment in specific. I will be showing raw visitor data so you can understand the scale of the issue, how big it is, how problematic it is. Show some global perspective, what's happening in other countries that's similar to here. I will then represent one main solution that has worked elsewhere. Lastly, I will explain how that solution can be applied to Florida, specifically in areas like the Everglades, and the drawbacks of it, and why this issue matters long term. Before we dive in though, I want to ask you, how does tourism affect your area, and is it similar to how it affects others? Have you seen more traffic? More construction? More crowded parks or beaches? I mean, tourism brings money. That part is obvious. But tourism also brings pressure. Pressure on land, pressure on wildlife, pressure on water systems. And Florida is experiencing that pressure at a massive scale. How is it affecting Florida, though? How is this pressure affecting us? Well, it's not affecting the economy. Tourism is great for the economy. Even over-tourism is helping the economy. Small businesses get more flow. But because of that, 140 million people last year entered. And that's according to the Florida Governor's Office, which is the state authority responsible for tracking tourism statistics, giving it a strong reputation and direct access to visitor data. They recorded over 140 million visitors. Again, 140 million people. That is more than 4 times the population of the state itself. Now think about what 140 million people require. Hotels, highways, restaurants, airports, attractions. That's urbanization, which then leads to mass deforestation because waste disposal, water supply, they need room to build these things. They can't build it on any other plane. There wouldn't be enough land. So they're clearing the forests for visitors, not the people of the state. Now, Global Forest Watch is an international environmental monitoring organization that uses satellite data, giving it strong ability to observe high, threshold places for deforestation. They report a measurable tree cover loss across the United States connected to land development, not just Florida. And in Florida, tourism drives our development. New resorts, expanded highways, parking areas, forests are cleared, and wetlands are drained. I mean, just look at the manatees. They're in sludge. That's not water. Look at the coral reef. You see some fish in the background, but what's the reef look like? It's white. Where's the rainbow? Where's the color? And I mean, at the top, too. That used to be animals' homes, birds' nests. What are they going to do now? They have no cover. And that's because of the amount of people entering, the over-tourism. It's endangering native species like those manatees. Waste in landfill is just getting filled and overflowing into the waters, which causes the coral bleaching. This is according to the NOAA, by the way, Fisheries, which is a federal scientific agency with marine biology expertise and a neutral research mission. Multiple experts have stated that coral reefs are under severe stress due to warming waters and pollution. Coral bleaching is increasing, biodiversity is decreasing, and here's the irony. Tourists come to see healthy beaches and marine life, but tourism growth contributes to stress destroying those same ecosystems. And at 140 million visitors, the strain multiplies. So tourism isn't neutral, it's reshaping the environment. I mean, just look at this graph by Ron DeSantis. You can see total employment, which is how many people are entering. 2020, we're at 45 million. By 2022, near double that at 99 million. You go 2024, just 2 years ago, we're at 111 million. And if last year was 140 million, again, according to the governor's office, that's a huge increase, a huge jump in stress. You look at this graph, you can see all that dense pink, that's tree cover loss. Where's the green? Where's the primary forest? You can see it definitely goes down near the bottom. See a bunch of white land, meaning not too much tree cover loss, but you could still see it reaching parts of the Everglades, the edges of the Everglades. Then we look at this final graph. You can see in 2001, started pretty high in deforestation. By 2017, we reached a peak, which then we started to head down. But look in 2024, 2020 COVID happened. That's why that drop happened. 2024, we see a slight rise. You see these same rises if you do stocks. 2021 to 2022, increase a little bit, dropped a little bit, then increase a little bit, then it's going to drop a little more, then it could skyrocket. We've seen it multiple times. Look at these other countries. I mean, according to Yale Environmental 360, which is a publication from Yale University with strong academic reputation and nil political bias, Yale reported that in Maya Bay, Thailand, it was closed in 2018 due to the severe environmental damage caused by overtourism. The beach was overwhelmed, coral reefs were damaged, marine life declined. Closure was not optional, it became necessary. And according to that same study, after a couple years of being closed, the reefs completely recovered. I mean, in the Maldives, according to the United Nations Development Program, which is a global UN agency with international authority and strong reputation, you probably know it, it was reported that the Maldives banned single-use plastics to reduce the tourism waste, the same waste that was polluting their waters and polluting their native species. And that worked too. Greenpeace International, which is a global environmental organization with strong research documentation through clear advocacy goals and it's peer-reviewed, reports that Spain introduced visitor caps in fragile tourist areas, not everywhere, but fragile tourist areas, to prevent overcrowding. This worked too. What does this show? Overtourism isn't unique to Florida. It's a problem that every single place is facing. I mean, look at France, actively fighting overtourism as the #1 destination site. And countries that ignore it eventually reach a breaking point where they have to do something about it. So how can we solve this? According to Yale, the same study, Spain's CS Islands implemented a strict cap of 1,800 visitors per day during peak season. The result was reduced overcrowding and ecosystem stress, meaning the idea is simple. We can do the same thing here. Like they did, they limited daily tourist numbers through mandatory reservation systems, meaning they caused people to book permits, they caused people to sign legal documents, and really address the issue at hand, the people, making the people be at fault if something happens. How can we integrate this, though, into Florida? Because, I mean, just look at the photo. You can see all those people, just like in the last photo, in overcrowding areas. I mean, those are 2 native alligators sitting in their waters. You think these people are being quiet? I don't think so. The National Parks Conservation Association, which is a research-backed conservation expertise with over 100 experts, explains that Everglades rely on delicate water balance and habitat protection. A reservation system during peak months could reduce these wildlife disturbances. Daily visitor caps based on environmental carrying capacity could prevent erosion and overcrowding. Seasonal adjustments could protect ecosystems during these vulnerable periods. Instead of reacting after damage, we could prevent it. Now, what are some drawbacks? It would hurt the economy. But look at that bird being able to stand on gush and trash. That's not normal. It could reduce our revenue for tourism. It can hurt small businesses. It can even push back against limited access areas. You know, they might push back against that. Managing reservation permits even adds extra costs. And I mean, crowds could always move to the unregulated areas causing damage. But what about the native places like the Everglades, the same place this bird is standing on? We can protect them. We can save them by spending the money that we are already spending in damages. According to the NOAA, same website as I used earlier, which is a science-backed federal scientific authority with strong economic and environmental research, reported that Florida's 2018 red tide event caused $2.7 billion in damage. Tourism supports billions in revenue. But there's trade-offs. We could save the environment in return. So I ask you one last time, how does tourism affect your area? Is it affecting your area like it affects mine? Like it affects Spain? Like it affects France? Like it affects Maldives? Here are my sources and references before I go. And thank you for your time.